ASEAN envoys hold talks with Myanmar's military chief as the bloc steps up diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis. Well, let's take a closer look now. Moe Thuzar from the Myanmar Studies Programme at ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute joins us live. Welcome, Ms. Thuzar. What is the significance of those talks?
Good evening, Jill. Well, it's been close to 6 weeks after the ASEAN leaders meeting in Jakarta, where the 9 ASEAN members reached an agreement with Senior General Min Aung Hlaing on the 5-point consensus. And so much has happened in Myanmar since then. While the ASEAN members still tried to discuss the contours of the process, in Myanmar, ASEAN's call for an immediate cessation of violence was not heeded, and there has been an escalation of violence. The State Administration Council junta had issued or made statements that sound like backtracking on the 5-point consensus. So it is important for ASEAN to really get moving on implementing the details of that 5-point consensus without further delay, as the plight of the Myanmar people continue to be very desperate.
Moe, ASEAN's role is an important one, there's no doubt about that, but how far can it influence a resolution beyond the constructive dialogue that's taken place so far?
Well, Dawn, I think this is the challenge, I think, that confronts ASEAN at this point, because, what we are looking at right now is a situation in Myanmar where there's a lot of shuttling back and forth, consultation and conversations will be necessary before any process towards a political settlement can even be, I think, planned or envisaged. Because, we have to bear in mind that we're talking here about, different stakeholders in Myanmar and also about ASEAN. As distinct and monolithic entities, but we all should be aware that nothing is monolithic. So I think the challenge here is really trying to find where are those the views and attitudes that are constructive, that are trying to look towards this political settlement and trying to build on that for a broader common foundation on which to work from. And of course, this is easier said than done, because right now in Myanmar, attitudes towards ASEAN are not that constructive in view of, I think, the lag in the implementation timeline, as well as the perceptions of ASEAN's engagement with the junta. And domestically, of course, sentiments are very much polarized and radicalized, whether supporters of the junta or of the resistance against the military coup.
You mentioned time indeed of the essence. Anti-coup activists say ASEAN has not been moving forcefully enough either when dealing with the military government.
Yes, this is what I was referring to when I was talking about, attitudes or sentiments in Myanmar towards ASEAN not being that constructive, in the sense that there is a sense of disappointment, if we could use that term, with the way that the people in Myanmar are viewing how the whole process, the whole regional process has been with regard to engaging with the junta. While I think on the part of ASEAN, the challenge, of course, is how do you deal with somebody who has committed certain acts of violence and used lethal force against its own citizens, and then try to bring that responsible party to be accountable and to rectify what it has done. So I think that that is the kind of the dilemma and the challenge. And so I think building trust and confidence will be quite an important issue here.
Moe, as always, thank you for your thoughts on this issue this evening. Moe Thuzar there, Fellow and Coordinator for the Myanmar Studies Programme at ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute.